busy as a bee. Everyone on the island of Soda knows that no engine is more proud of their paint than James the Red Engine. He loves to be admired by passengers and engines alike as his scarlet hue glistens in the sunlight. But paint can grow old and dirty, and this is when engines must be repainted. One morning, James was in the shed when Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Stay in the shed today, James," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Some painters are coming to give you a fresh coat." James was most pleased. He enjoyed being fussed over. "Duck will do your work for the day," Sir Topham Hatt concluded, and strode away. For the rest of the morning, James stayed at the sheds waiting for the painters to come. I'm sorry to say he was terribly smug about it to the other engines as they passed by. They were very cross that James was able to laze about in the yard all day. At last, Duck came along, ready to collect James's truck. He was surprised to see James not turning a wheel. "James, why aren't you busy?" he asked.
"I am busy," replied James smugly. "Busy waiting to be repainted."
Duck rolled his eyes. "Enjoy your lazy Sunday, then."
"Oh, don't be envious, Duck," James replied. "Green isn't your color."
Duck went as red as James's paint and stormed off. Later, he stopped at Wellsworth and began to chat with Edward. He told him all about James.
"Pay him no mind. He's often like that when he gets a new coat of paint," Edward sighed.
"He has some nerve," brooded Duck.
"I know. He's too big for his wheels," replied Edward. "He was just as smug this morning when I passed through."
Just then, they heard a whistle and a column of smoke from the road bridge. Trevor the traction engine trundled over the railway with a trailer of strange boxes. "What's that Trevor is carrying?" Duck asked.
"Those are the vicar's beehives," Edward explained. "His bees are always busy making splendid honey, so he gives them to his friends. He paints them to match the bees themselves."
Duck thought for a moment and grinned. "I think I have an idea how to pay James out," he chuckled, and explained his plan to Edward. When Duck returned to the yard, he found the painters heading towards the shed. "Beg pardon, sirs, but I must inform you that there's been a change of plan." The painters stopped, surprised to hear this. They listened as Duck explained the change. James was dozing when the painters arrived and set to work. He awoke when they'd finished. "Well, James, are you ready to see your new coat?" asked one of the painters. James gasped in horror. He was painted in yellow and black stripes, just like a bumblebee.
"What's the meaning of this?" he demanded. "I'm supposed to be red!"
That's not what we were told," grumbled the painters, and left. James was fuming. His red face no longer had a red coat to match. It wasn't long before Sir Topham Hatt heard about the change, and came to see for himself. Well, James," stuttered Sir Topham Hatt, trying not to laugh. "I'm not sure how this mix-up occurred, but I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a proper repaint. You have work to do this evening."
"What?" exclaimed James. "But I can't go out looking like this!"
"I'm afraid there's no choice, James. We can't have you sitting about in the sheds until we have time." James groaned. What would the other engines say? Soon his crew had steamed him up, and he puffed out of the shed, for all of Soda to see his new look. When he arrived at Knapford, people pointed, whispered, and giggled. James tried to blow some steam at them to make them go away, but they all swarmed around him. Gorn was at another platform, garfing at James's new paint. "Hello, little James! Are you happy to be out of the shed?" he chortled. Then Henry passed by, and he laughed too. James was so cross he thought his safety valve would burst. Duck shunted some coaches behind James and ran up alongside. "Hello, James. I see you've come out of your shed," he said, stifling a laugh.
I wish I hadn't!
James groused. "But look on the bright side," continued Duck. "At least now you'll be busy as a bee." James was about to retort back, but Duck had already buzzed away. "Well, James, are you ready to see your new coat?" asked what? Sorry.